But now they're picking individual days out of the calendar. And if you have a whole calendar, 365 days of the year, and the transgender community purposely chooses the day of Jesus' death or his resurrection, whatever Easter weekend, that seems like a shot, a purposeful shot. Could have been in October. Could have been in August. They chose that day on purpose.
I want Jesse Waters to tell me what specific date Jesus died and came back. He should take a shot.
And it's just a shame. This is really about, again, the Democrats, the left, destroying the family structure, destroying religion. I mean, look at took the religious symbols off the Easter eggs in the White House Easter egg hunt. It's just all about trying to destroy religion. And what do they want? They want the religion to be government.
Took religious symbols off of Easter eggs in order to destroy religion. Can you imagine what would happen if a child wrote a Star of David or the name Mohammed on these wasted omelets?
Yeah, for years we've been having a campaign to put Christ back into Christmas. Apparently under Joe Biden, we got to put Christ back into Easter too.
The only reason why Christ was in Christmas and Easter in the first place is because us Christians wanted to celebrate pagan holidays without guilt. A flyer circulated by the Adjutant General of the National Guard inviting children of National Guard members to submit Easter eggs to the White House contest has the likes of Fox News saying President Joe Biden and his administration is banning religious themes in this year's contest, according to NBC News. Now, right-wing media could have been going to church or listening to Beyonce or buying discount Easter candy like normal people, but instead, most of the network chose to lie. I'll explain in a minute. So yeah, this year's flyer, seen here, does say that the Easter eggs that are to be decorated by children must not include any questionable content, religious symbols, overtly religious themes, or partisan political statements. But the American Egg Board has been a supporter of the White House Easter egg roll for over 45 years. That dates back to Tricky Dick. But don't just take my word for it. Check out Fox News.
Conditions out here. It is rainy. We heard some thunder and lightning, and there's also some controversy surrounding the event this year. Transgender Day of Visibility falls on March 31st every year. This year, it coincided with Easter Sunday. And although President Biden, who is Catholic and attends Mass every weekend, issued a statement commemorating Easter Sunday, he also issued a statement marking Transgender Day of Visibility. It reads, "Today on Transgender Day of Visibility, I have a simple message to all trans Americans. I see you. You are made in the image of God, and you are worthy of respect and dignity." Republicans sounded off about that and also about an egg decorating contest for the children of National Guard members.
Fox is about that business. What did I just say? The Biden White House first issued a proclamation on Transgender Day of Visibility on March 31st, 2021. If you were wondering, Easter fell on April 4th that year. Easter is a holiday that jumps around each year, while Trans Visibility Day is on March 31st every year. And nobody knows that more than Fox News, man. What?
And as a Christian who celebrates Easter with family, President Biden stands for bringing people together and upholding the dignity and freedoms of every American. Now, sadly, and it's not surprising, right? It is actually unsurprising that politicians are seeking to divide and weaken our country with cruel, hateful, and dishonest rhetoric. It is dishonest what we have heard the past 24 hours. It is untrue what we heard over the weekend.
And if it seemed like she was reading, that's because that was the same statement that we were all given as media yesterday.
So what you just saw was a breaking news segment from Harris Faulkner. Here's the rest of the clip from White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre that Fox strategically cut off.
What we have heard the past 24 hours. It is untrue what we heard over the weekend. And, we were at first, want to be very clear, confused on their coverage. We're grateful that Fox agrees with President Biden about the importance of recognizing Trans Day of Visibility. And I'll just quote something that Fox said back in 2021. They tweeted this: "Trans Day of Visibility is dedicated to celebrating transgender people. To all the transgender men, women, and non-binary folk, We see you and stand with you.
Hashtag Trans Day of Visibility, hashtag TV for All from 2021. A time when it was normal for even Fox News to celebrate trans people, and they're trying to hide it now. I guess now is a good enough time to let y'all know that next year, Easter will be on April 20th. And also, last week, Fox Corporation issued a job posting looking for a corporate, quote, trust and safety behavioral analyst whose responsibilities would include identifying misinformation/disinformation. The job is for the sake of content moderation, so we'll still get less Jackie Heinrichs and more of this.
Permission to speak on behalf of the American people, Dana?
Do you? Yes, okay.
Thank
I was going to offer to hold your hand, but I think I'll take a pass.
I think the trans thing is over. We have accommodated the trans for quite some time. They're demanding more visibility, Greg. The only thing more visible than the trans is Taylor Swift or Kilmeade. I see more stuff about trans than anything. And now we're finding out there's like 100 trans days recognized on the calendar. I was always under the impression that Gay Pride Month was June. They get the whole month. LGBTQ, RSTUV, the trans falls under that umbrella, and they can do whatever they want during that month. They can have a parade, they can bake cookies, they can be as visible as they need to be. I have no problem with that. Do your thing.
Gotta wonder why Jesse Waters sees so much trans stuff day to day. Notice that he didn't say he sees trans people around him. What is he watching on TV? And I guarantee you that Jesse Waters will have a problem with queer communities doing their thing in the future because he's had problems with it in the past. The bad takes about Trans Visibility Day didn't just come from the communication arm of the Republican Party. They came from Republicans on other networks too.
You mentioned it is Easter Sunday. You said you've been to church this morning. I got to ask, President Trump this past week unveiled what he calls the God Bless the USA Bible, which not only has the words of Scripture in it, but also the text of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and a few other things. Do you think it's appropriate for the former president, for the likely Republican nominee, to be selling such a product?
You know, I haven't really seen that. I've heard some people talk about it. I think I'm more concerned about the White House restricting the ability of children to put religious symbols on Easter eggs for the Easter egg roll at the White House. You know, I'm glad that CBS gives people the right to express their religious freedom. I can't imagine that we're certainly in a situation where the Biden White House is restricting, especially that of children, their ability to express their religious freedoms.
Okay, but you wouldn't buy a copy of this Trump Bible, would you?
I'm not writing a check for that.
Okay.
GOP Representative Mike Turner out of Ohio doesn't know about Trump's Bibles, but he heard something about it. But he does know about canceled scrambled eggs. I really should have eaten a better breakfast instead of all that discounted Easter candy. Then his party would hate to give kids the freedom to create symbols of Islam on. For Really American, I'm Jeff Wiggins. My architect knows Japanese.